So you're having knee pain when you're riding, and you're wondering what exercises can you do to help, one, strengthen the areas you probably need to strengthen, and two, alleviate the knee pain that you're having. This comes in twofold. One, whenever you ride your bike, is that you're doing this repetitive motion. You're pedaling, obviously. And what can happen whenever you don't have strong glutes, you don't have a strong quad, is that your knees will tip inward a little bit in every single pedal stroke. What I'm going to give you is ways to, one, help you with regaining that strength to help you pedal more efficiently, and also to help with that knee kink. Number one, we're going to get into is a marching exercise. It's a wall sit. What this wall sit does is that enables you to build quad strength without loading your tendon in the front part of your knee, which is probably where you have the most knee pain. And it allows you to put stress not only just on quad strengthening, but also on that tendon. When you have tendon issues in your knee, or tendonitis potentially issues in your knee, we need to put load across it because you've had some partial tearing of it. This load that you put across it basically tells the body, hey, I need you to strengthen this tendon so we can use it again. And this allows you to have the body come in and heal that tendon up. What it does is it lays down scar tissue first. Well, that scar tissue isn't very tensile loading. It's not going to hold a lot of strength to it. The kind of main function of a tendon is to attach from your bone, from the muscle, and hold load through that so that you can move specific parts of your limbs. So if you think about bicep, my bicep muscle is here. My tendon connects to my bone, and so then I'm now able to move my forearm because I'm activating my bicep. Same thing goes for your quad. Your quad muscle works, it attaches to your kneecap. You have an extra tendon here to make sure that it has the right angle of pull for your lower leg, and then now you can straighten your knee. This extra tendon can sometimes actually have more tendonitis issues in it. And that's why our wall sit is so important for you, because you're loading that tendon, telling it needs to heal, and also strengthen your quad. Because anytime you have knee pain issues, neurologically, you will lose quad strength. So we need to make sure that you still keep your quad strength and improve it. You can also do this at several different angles. If it hurts to sit at that 90 degrees, then scoot your butt up the wall and hold there, and then do your marching from that. You're going to alternate sides, and so it works on that initial load and offload, load and offload. You can also make it work even more by marching just that one side, and it has to hold that entire time against that dynamic function. So it's a little bit of offload and load, but it's holding so much more in that time. The next area that you need to be focused on for your knee are your hips. This is where you think about your glutes, you think about your core, you think about how these guys dynamically work together to help control your knee. So if I'm going to rotate my foot outwards, if I'm going to rotate my foot inwards, or if I'm going to dip my knee inwards and dip my knee outwards, that mechanism, that movement comes from my hip. This impacts how the knee actually functions as a hinge, and that's why it's important that we have strong glutes and therefore strong quads to help you with loading and having a better mechanism for your knee. One of the ways that we do this is via a hands and knees, either donkey kick, fire hydrant. It's a great way of having core strength and ability to move your leg up and out and control where that knee actually is in space. This strengthens your glutes as you raise that leg up. You're going to keep your core on, not allowing your back to move and bend, making it a more hip movement. This will make your glutes work, and especially if you seek that end range of that actual movement. Feel free to add a band to your thighs, and to make that motion happen for you. It's a great exercise to really focus in on that end range and on your function of your core strength and your base leg that you need for mountain biking. The next exercise you're going to be doing is kind of a side lunge or a modified side lunge. You can either do this by just stepping out, or you can have your feet placed out and you're just doing a side lunge from one side to the other side. This works on your ability to bring your butt back as you're bending your knee. So you work not only on quad strength, but also on glute strength. The more back that you send your butt, the more chest down you have to be. You want to keep a flat back in this. You want to make sure it's a more hip hinge mechanism, as well as you bending your knee, versus just sagging and losing that structure control of your actual trunk as you're moving. You're going to go one side and then the other side. As you're doing this, you can add load, holding it to your chest, or you can do it just without load. You can even do this sitting down and standing up from an actual chair. As you're coming over, you sit down and then you stand back up. It's super helpful for getting more of a dynamic load on your knee and understanding how to keep those knees nice and forward as you're doing this mechanism, as you're doing this exercise. I hope these help with you building strength in this. The last exercise goes into a little bit more abstract way, but we need core strength in this. And so just laying in your back and reaching one leg out and back, the other leg out and back, alternating sides, while you keep your core nice and still, slightly press down towards the floor so you have basically an idea of where you are in space. That helps the core engage, and if you can keep that pressure of your back on the floor the same as you move your legs out and back, that means that your core is working great for you. You shouldn't feel this in your hip flexors, and you shouldn't feel this in your low back. And so if you do, you need to engage and kind of tip that pelvis back, your back a little bit more towards the floor to help you stabilize. Enjoy these exercises, and I hope they help with you gaining strength and function and decreasing the pain that you can get in your knees while you're riding.